Grade 11, Humanities and Social Sciences. So for creative nonfiction, the literacy essay, lesson number 2, we have finding the theme. So last time, we discussed the elements of creative nonfiction. So elements for the story, which is the plot, the characters, the setting, the theme, no, ngayon pa lang yung theme. So, yun yung diniscuss natin last time. So, for now, finding the theme yung ating lesson number 2. So, very short lamang ito. We are focusing only for the theme itself. So, yan. So, let's recall from our previous lessons that the story is a narration of how something happened. It tells us who, what, when, where, and how a particular event took a place. So, the way you write your story is what you call literary genre. So, yun yung tawag doon. So, a literary genre can either be a fiction or non-fiction. So, when a story was made based on the writer's imagination, so ito po ay fiction. Okay? Yung mga kathang isip lamang, mga gawa-gawang kwento, ayan. So, when we say naman non-fiction, ito yung makatotohanan. Totoong nangyayari po. So, non-fiction po iyon. So, I hope it's clear to everyone on how you will define the story if it is a fiction or non-fiction. Okay? So, remember also that each genre has different elements. So, however, generally, a genre has 4 different elements such as, yung sinasabi ko kanina, character, story, plot, and setting. So, itong these 4 po is very important na makita natin at mabasa natin sa ating storya or sa isang story na binabasa natin. Kasi we defined who is the characters or who are the characters and what is the story about. So, when and where it happens, so setting po iyon, and also the plot of the story. Okay? So, again, characters are the person. It's either person or animals, things, or creatures doing and performing the actions in the story. And the story is the narration of the action. So, sinasalaysay niya. So, yun yung tinatawag na storya. So, that took place in the story itself. And of course, the plot is the sequence of events that took place in the story, and then the setting is the place and time where the story happened. So, that's the meaning or the function of each element of the story. So, remember me this way. So, this will be your activity, another activity. So, very short lamang ito. So, do you still remember the last book that you've read? So, what was the story all about? So, natatandaan niyo daw ba yung mga nabasa niyo before na mga libro? So, I'm sure yung mga bata kayo mahilig kayong basahan ng books ng inyong mga magulang. Or kayo mismo, di ba, nakakapag-imagine tayo ng mga simple story na ikukwento natin, di ba? Kadalasan ay ora mismo ay nakakapagkwentuhan or nakakapagkwento ka. So, ad-lib naman yon. So, during that, gumagana yung imagination mo. So, most importantly, what lessons did you learn from that book? So, ano yung natutunan ninyo? So, yan. Please write down your answers on the space provided. So, I hope you really do this activity kasi it sometimes reminisce ng pagkabata ninyo or yung mga dati nyong ginagawa. So, mahalaga po ang pagbabasa at mahalaga po yung understanding and comprehension natin dun sa binabasa natin. So, hindi lang tayo basta babasa, kundi aalamin natin yung the elements of the story for us to be for us to know deeply yung binabasa natin. Okay? So, in writing or developing a story, you are writing not just because you need to write something. So you have to use the different elements of the story, okay? So, such as plot, character, story, and settings in order for you to create a theme. Okay, how you combine or use these elements in writing your story will serve as the technique in developing your theme. So once you read the story or natapos mo yung isang storya, you will determine what is the theme of the story based dun sa pagkakabasa mo. Okay? So here we go. So what is a theme? A theme of a story is a message that the writer is trying to tell the reader. So, author or the writer. So, may gusto siyang iparating or ipahatid sa atin. So, it is the idea, belief, moral lesson, or insights that a reader can find while reading the story. So, during reading, so you will determine what is the theme of the story. So, if you know what would the writer trying to tell you, so that's the theme. So, yun yung pinaradating niya sa ating mga mambabasa or sa ating mga reader na tinatawag. Sa ating mga readers, yan. So, during the reading of the story, dun yung madadetermine yung nais sabihin ng writer sa atin. Okay? It is also the main message. So, main message that the author or writer is trying to make the reader understand. So, it helps. It helps us as a reader to know what is the story all about with the help of the theme. So, mas naiintindihan natin yung gustong iparating ng writer sa atin. So, the theme, most of the time, answers the whys of the story. So, bakit? So, a story can have a single or multiple themes depending upon the author. So, we are not looking for a one theme, one story. So, marami siyang theme or maraming ginagamit na basis ang isang author or writer sa kanyang isang storya na gusto niyang iparating sa atin. So, hindi lang isa, kundi multiple themes po. Depende dun sa author. Okay? So, it doesn't matter kung in the first, in the introduction, na isip niyo agad na ito yung theme, pero at the end or at the middle of the story is nag-iiba. So, dun natin mas nalalaman kung ano ba yung pinapahatid ng isang writer sa atin. So, how can we use the elements of the different genres in developing or making a theme? So, when writing or making a story, the authors use their imagination. So, they will look at the things around them, and from there, they start to write the story depending upon the situation they have seen. So, maraming author po of course, nagbe-base sa kanilang imagination. So, mapaglaro yung kanilang mga isip. Marahil, nakatang isip nila based on yung mga nakikita nila sa environment nila. So, nakakagawa sila ng kwento mula doon. Okay? In just a single thing, sa isang maliit na bagay, minsan nakakagawa na sila. So, with the use of their imagination, and I know all of us are nangyayari to sa atin. We use our imagination to create something in my mind, and then trying to know more deeply. So, kung anong klaseng personalidad meron tayo. Okay? So, that's the essence of imagination. So, marami tayong nagagawa or marami tayong natututunan din with our imagination talaga. 'Di ba? So, they use these situations as the basis in creating something that would allow them to express their views, ideas, or opinions creatively. So, of course, with the help of their imagination, they are, of course, creatively doing there. So, of course, gusto nilang i-impress yung viewers din, di ba? Which is us, yung magbabasa. So, okay yon. So, I hope mas na-embrace nyo yon. Pero pinaka-the best kasi, as author, of course, you will do your own story, di ba? Gusto nyo mag-create ng sarili ninyo, which is kayo yung author. So, kailangan malawak yung inyong pag-iisip, yung inyong opinions dapat na ipapahatid ninyo dun sa magbabasa. Okay? They will incorporate these ideas into their writings, putting it as an important part of the story, such as the plot, character, or settings. The writers will then be able to connect with their reader by making them understand the theme that they are trying to say. Yon. So, napakahalaga ng elements of the story. So, wag niyong kakalimutan yan when you are reading short stories or novel or kung ano man, always remember the elements of the story. It helps us to know more or understand ano yung binabasa natin with the help of the elements of the story. So, after this lesson, meron tayong isang lesson that we will give definition or the meaning of each elements of the story. So, for example, character. You don't just put the names of the character or the names of the character in the story. But meron tayong tinatawag na characterization. So, what is the attitude of that particular character? Ano yung meaning niya? So, ano siya doon? So, characterization na tawag doon. So, at first, binigay muna natin yung meaning ng bawat isa, pero sa mga susunod na lesson, bibigyan natin siya ng deeply meaning or understanding dun sa elements of the story. Okay? So, the following are the commonly used themes in writing. So, first, ito yung mga usually na nagiging tema ng isang storya na kadalasang nababasa natin. So, first is love, of course, survival, death, power and corruption, good versus evil, war, and then courage and heroism, yung pagiging hero. So, yun yung usually, these are the commonly used themes in writing a story. So, kayo kaya, once you create or make your own story, or gagawa kayo ng isang libro ng mga stories, so ano kaya ang tema ng inyong storya? So, doon pa lang is we determine that the author or the writer is ganun siyang klaseng tao, di ba? Kapag tungkol sa love, yung ginawa niyang story, which means siguro ay masaya siya sa kanyang love life or o kaya minsan ay broken-hearted or nagkaroon ng di maganda. So minsan, we determine that the author is that kind of person based on his or her stories na ginagawa niya. So, how to develop a theme? So, what do we need to do? Remember, in developing a theme, it is important to choose first a topic. So, of course, topic muna, di ba? So, tungkol saan yung isusulat mo and yon, tungkol saan, ano yung gusto mong isulat. So, gumawa ka muna ng topic mo. So, pwedeng napapanahon ngayon, pwedeng in the future. So, depende po yan sa writer or sa author. At depende po yan sa bawat isa. Okay? So, a topic can be anything that you would like to talk about. So, it can be about love. Yan. It can be about love, success, failures, and etc. So, from the chosen topic, you can then create or develop your theme. So, please use the example below. So, let's see. For example, your chosen topic is about love. So, what do you think is the theme? Of course, love is the most powerful force in the universe. It can either make you or break you, and most of all, it can bring the best or worst in you. So, that's the theme. Kasi your chosen topic is about love. So, generally, you think deeply what is the theme. Diba? At first, sinabi yung positive that the love is the most powerful force in the universe. So, positive. Pero meron ding negative, which is it can either make you or break you, and most of all, it can bring the best, worst in you. So, pwedeng mong ipalabas yung totoong ugali niya or kaanyuan niya. So, medyo malawak, diba? Kasi your chosen topic is about love. So, very deep talaga itong topic na to. So, kayo kaya? Ano kaya? Yan. So, I hope you really understand the message po of finding the theme and to know more how you will define, how will you know what is the theme of the story. So, with the help of the elements of the story, of course, you will know what is the theme of the story. Pero like what I've said, of course, you have to choose first your topic and then tungkol saan. Diba? Pwedeng, let's say, love nga siya. So, tungkol naman saan yung theme. Heartbreaks ba? Or happiness? So, depende po yan sa inyo. Okay? So, thank you and God bless. So, I hope you're really listening to our record discussion and yung effort ko din, at least I know pwede nyo balik-balikan itong topic na to. So, I give you an activity. Of course, after the discussion, meron tayo activity. So, help me find my theme. So, now that you know what a theme is and how you can create one, why don't you put into application? All that you have learned in this activity, create a theme from a particular topic following the example provided to you earlier. So, ano yung chosen topic ninyo, and then what is the theme. So, very simple lamang ito mga anak. And after that, after you having chosen topic and then what is the theme, so make a draft of your own story using the topic and theme that you had created. So apply all that you have learned in this lesson and submit it to your teacher the next meeting. So, yan. So, meron akong rubric dito on how you will create your theme. So, very simple lamang. And then, for the reflection paper, write your answer on a separate sheet of paper. If you are to write a story for the whole world to read, yung mga gusto nyong gawing storya na gusto nyong mabasa ng buong mundo. So, what would it be and why? Please elaborate your answer by explaining completely the topic and the theme. And remember, your theme contains the message, the idea, belief, moral lesson, and insights that you wish to give the reader. So, good luck and thank you for today. So, God bless you.